Hello everybody, welcome back to the Panel by Panel Comics YouTube channel with me, your host Jay. Today is my buy or sell video for the books that I pulled April 15th, 2026. Before we get into the video, if you guys enjoy comic book content nearly daily here on the Panel by Panel Comics YouTube channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 50 subscribers. Please hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and hit that like button as well. And let's go ahead and get started with the first one on my buy or sell. We have Absolute Batman. This is issue 19, 32 pages, $5 for this comic book. This is the intro to Scarecrow. And we get him right away, and it kind of showcases how his powers work. He went to this farm, and there was two brothers on the farm, and they are like, what is this person doing? What are we doing? Or what are you doing here? You need to get out of here. You're barefoot. You look weird as hell. And then Scarecrow's like, yeah, actually, your brother's effing your wife. You should know that. And then the brother goes insane, has like this mental episode, runs him over with one of those farm equipment things. And you see, he's like, oh my gosh, mister, you got to help me. Maybe we can save him. Maybe we can save him. And then a plane comes in, explodes the whole thing, and Scarecrow is introduced just like that. Such a good intro. And then we cut back to Gotham where Batman is slowly becoming even more Batman. We get some updates from Alfred and how Batman, he's totally focused on doing his job to protect Gotham. He has no distractions. He's not worried about Wayland, who we actually see. He comes out from the side and he's like, hey, Bruce, you need to help me. We need to do something. And they try to have a conversation about how they need to get the gang together. We need to rise up and go attack Joker. Make sure that what happened to them doesn't happen to anybody else ever again. Only problem is Bruce is so fixated on being Batman right now, he doesn't care. And that is not good for Wayland. But then, as he heads back to his little bat cave that Harley's kind of helped him get this little call system in, Jim Gordon calls him, who we know is like his stepdad, technically, in the Absolute Universe. But he calls him, has these notes, or this Project Batman, that he wanted to show Bruce. But then the Scarecrows, or the Crows arrive. He goes insane. He tries to burn the files, and then he starts burning himself, and he's like, I'm afraid it's too late for that. Just promise me you'll burn those files. And he jumps off of the side of the building, and as Batman is trying to save him, he's like, I got you. But really, he doesn't. And Jim Gordon is dead in the Absolute Universe, and you look over and see Scarecrow across the streets. That was absolutely insane. I can't believe that they just killed off Jim Gordon already in the Absolute Universe, and we're not even 20 issues in. But then we cut to a scene of basically people saying that Batman killed Jim Gordon because it really looked like Batman was the one that pushed him off the edge and killed Gordon, who was the mayor. And now Mayor Hill's up there. He's doing his introduction, and then he gets cut off by Slade Wilson, this universe's Deathstroke, and he's like a general. He's going to be in charge of the Robins, who he's introducing to Gotham as their new fight force. You get Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, Jason Todd, Duke Thomas, and Dick Grayson. And then it ends off with him basically saying, together we will end this long, dark night of fear and terror. We will bring back the light, but make no mistake, it will be a fight. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe the biggest fight in the history of this city, and it starts right now. What an issue. Probably going to be my pick of the week, but Absolute Batman, issue number 19. I mean, if you're not buying it, if you haven't even subscribed to it, what are you doing? That's the best comic going on in all of comics, in my opinion, personally, right now. It's so good. Every issue is just action-packed and a solid 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10 stars, whatever you want to say. Absolute Batman, 100% is a buy. Next, we go to issue 1. Actually, my only issue 1 this week. We have The Hab. This is issue number 1. 40 pages, $6 for this comic book. It follows this multi-billionaire, and the world has gone erupt. It had nuclear fallout, and now all these rich families are basically saving themselves in this hab that they call. It's just a place underneath the ground close to this cave system because they need fresh water. And we see Melanie, who looks like the main character of this comic book, and she's drinking some water and she's having some flashbacks, trying to play some music to drown out the noise. She's really going through it. We find out that she's actually 2 years sober and she's been in rehab for a little bit after an event that we'll see in this book. And it kind of breaks down the different floors of the hab, letting everybody know what's going on. And you see the cave system down here. That's probably the most important. That's where they get all their water from, and that's how this place is able to survive. But you'll find out the water system is actually tampered with and it's poisoned. Something was in it and it starts driving the people in the hab mad. We'll get to that part later on in the issue. But we find out that they can't get into this access point. Something is jamming it. And Anne, who Tuttle, the multi-billionaire that owns and created this place, he's like, I don't care. This place cost me $20 billion. Get that POS open. And he starts having some back issues. And Melanie comes down there looking for him because that's her dad. And she's like, what's going on? Who cares? She goes to the kitchen, and Maya, Taya, she has these Xanax bars because her dad gave them to her to relax her or take the edge off. And you find out that she's actually been 2 years sober, and she does this Xanax, sniffs it, starts drinking the water. And also you find out that the new wife of Tuttle, because this is the stepmom of Melanie. There was so much stuff that happened in this issue, by the way. It just jumped all over the place, but I really liked it. I thought it was really good and a really long story. It was a good read, but you find out that the stepmom of Mel, the new wife of Tuttle, has actually been having an affair with the bodyguard of Tuttle, his right-hand man. And they're kind of having a fight. She's kind of losing her mind because, I mean, the whole world has gone crazy. It had nuclear fallout. All this crazy stuff has happened, and they just want regular life to happen, and they can't do that. But then we cut back to Mel, who's on this beach retreat, and she's looking at these photos and videos of her mom who died because the dad didn't want to go back to save her. And he basically blurred the mom's face out, and she gets pissed at that, throws her phone into the water, and then a creature just pokes out of the water and starts to chase her. And you find out that this is actually a woman that she ran over and killed in Dubai whenever she was in Dubai for a trip. And she has so much PTSD from that, and that led to her going on this rehab retreat and not taking any of these drugs because she used to be crazy, used to go off the rails all the time. She runs to go find her dad, and instead of her dad, she finds the mom, this new stepmom of, well, her new stepmom, and they have a drink, and, well, you find out that she's been drinking, and she finally goes to sleep. But whenever she wakes up in just the middle of the night, she sees this horror. Oh yeah, we can't actually go to that yet. This next part happened. You have these people trying to open up the access portal, the cave access portal, and he starts hearing voices in his head. He's like, do you hear that? Something's inside of your head screaming at me. And he ends up trying to kill him, but he turns the flame on himself and kills himself. I mean, this was so brutal. It was so intense. This was a really good scene in this book. And then you find out that the dude that he tried to kill is going to probably live but have a deformed face, and the dude that killed himself. Then they try to find out, why is everything going on? Why is people losing their minds? And then you find out the reason is because it is contaminated. The water is contaminated with something that is performing like a hallucinogenic. And it's extremely potent in controlling people's minds and making them do crazy things. And then you see Melanie back in her bed, and the grandma of Tuttle seeing all these people at the end of the bed. They're all going crazy. And we get a flashback to 3 years ago before the events of what happened in the Hab. Nothing too crazy, basically just a whole bunch of nuclear reasons for why this event had to happen and why they are in the situation that they are. But the Hab, really good, highly recommend it, really good horror book, and it looks like it's going to be even creepier going forward. The Hab, issue number 1, is a buy for me. Such a good issue, really good book from Bad Idea, and I kind of like the old school paper in it as well. Next, we go to an IDW book. We have Smile for the Camera, issue number 2, 36 pages, $5. This one is very much the same in the first issue, and that kind of is a reason for why I did not like it as much. It's just the exact same events from issue number 1, just in a different way and with a different character. This issue follows Frasier, who is losing her mind slowly but surely. She's eating away her nails because she saw Cammy kill herself or unalive herself in the first issue, and now she has this smile, I guess, demon attached to it, and she starts seeing these smiles all over the place, starts losing her mind. She's like, I can't take this, and everything's aggravating her. Then whenever she goes back to the hotel, she tells them what she saw and how Cammy ended up killing herself or unaliving herself with basically a clothes hanger. And that looked pretty gruesome, pretty cool, honestly, if I'm being my true self. But she just keeps losing her mind slower and slower. Then at this masquerade party, the hallucinations catch up to Frasier, and in front of Lena, who is probably going to be the next victim in the next issue, she unalives herself. And it was just too repetitive for me. If this is going to be the same issues for all 5, I'm like, why am I getting this? This just feels like it's all going to be the exact same thing every issue. And for that reason, Smile for the Camera, for me personally, is a sell. Just because it's so repetitive. It's the same thing after every issue from the first 2. Maybe the future ones will be better. I don't know. I won't be able to find out because I am not going to buy into this series. It is a sell for me. Down to the final 2. They're both DC Next Level books. First, we have Deathstroke the Terminator, issue number 2, 32 pages, $4 for this comic book. I didn't think it was as good as the first one, but it was still a solid book. We start off with Slade trying to recover from the previous injuries that he sustained years ago with Wintergreen there. And then we cut back to the main time where he is trying to escape this area that he just got bombarded with. He just lost everything. There was a note saying, there's basically a note saying that everything's gone. Everything's lost. Do something. It was something like that. It's blank in my mind right now. But he's just trying to find out who hired these people and who is after him. Everybody's like, we didn't get hired. We're here because you broke into this place. Probably the same people that hired you hired us. Something along those lines. And Deathstroke just goes ape, goes crazy, retreats back to this hiding spot, and he's looking for a new job to try to get some money. And, well, he isn't able to in time because there's a big old rocket that comes and blows up the whole area. And then he has to fight his way out of another situation, gets onto this chopper, of course the iconic Deathstroke chopper, and then he crashes it down and kamikazes himself essentially. And the whole time he has this voice in his head, and it's the voice of Wintergreen talking to him. He's just, listen to me, whoever's in my head, I promise you, you're going to be very, very sorry. I don't want to escape these guys. I want to hunt them until they're extinct. I mean, that is such a good panel. It was a really good comic book, and at the end, whenever it looks like he's going to escape, he's not. It's actually going to be Deathblow and Deadstroke that are coming to get, or not Deathstroke, Deadblow and Deadshot that are coming to get Deathstroke in the next issue. This was a really good book. Highly recommend if you enjoy the character of Deathstroke or if you want to get to know him better. This was good. This is a buy for me. Deathstroke issue number 2, worthy of the $4 I spent on it. Last but certainly not least, a really good book in my opinion. It's so much fun. Lobo issue number 2. This is one of the most unserious books going on at DC, and I think that's what separates it so much from all the other stuff. I understand that for some people, humor is not what they want in their comic books, or they want it at a limited supply. But this book, I think, does it so well. Skottie Young, Jorge Corona done a great job. So where we left off in the previous issue was Lobo was trying to do this bounty stuff, and then he gets recruited to do his own reality TV show. And I think the only problem was that the network didn't want Lobo to become Lobo. They wanted him as a costume. They wanted to put him in a costume that wasn't Lobo. They wanted him to only curse so many times so he can keep the hero tag on his anti-hero slogan. And he has to introduce himself whenever he goes to collect a bounty, and that just never works out well for Lobo. Just started killing people. And he just goes from person to person. Something's wrong every single time. The network's like, you can't do this. Cut. We gotta stop. You can't do that. Stop. Cut. Just every single time he tried to do something. But I just love that Lobo is so organically himself, and he does not care what people think of him and what people try to make him do. He just wants to go collect bounties, drink, have a boatload of fun while doing it, and he's just living his life to the fullest. And these TV people are like, hey, you can't do any of this. And Lobo, he basically is telling them all the exact reasons that he thought. What do you think I'm doing here? I don't care. I'm not a hero. But they wanted him to fight a hero. And it turns out that Emperor Aquaman turns out to be somewhere close. And I honestly really like the Jorge Corona artwork with Aquaman. I think it would be so interesting to see Jorge Corona do an Aquaman series, because just from these few panels, these few pages, I really like the way that Aquaman is written. But Lobo starts laughing at him, making fun of him. He's like, you look stupid. You're wearing tights. What's going on? And Lobo is having none of it. He kind of goes crazy. They have a battle that lasts so long. And they're kind of just saying, that's a terrible line. He said, you are finished. And that's what Lobo said as a pun. And Aquaman was like, that's barely even a 1-star. And Lobo's like, that was at least a 3.5. Just so much fun. Their battles were so good. Jorge Corona's artwork was really the standout in this issue. I know that Skottie Young is the writer, but Jorge Corona is really a massive reason for why I am reading this book. So he goes back to the reality TV show. He's like, y'all don't want me to do this. And in the middle of the fight, it got stopped because they just resold their company and they weren't liking what happened with Lobo. And he goes back and he's like, good luck with the road, and I'll be expecting the remainder of my contract to be deposited by the end of the week, or I'll be back to give the rest of you the same treatment. And the treatment that he gave him was not nice. And Lobo's like, well, I'm going to do myself. I'm going to just see myself out of here and give you all your clothes back. Really fun issue. Lobo, issue number 2, is a buy for me. I love Lobo so much. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I love having something like that at DC that is more fun rather than all plot devices. And for the next DCKO event that's going to happen, the All In Part 2, I think this is just a really fun series here with Skottie Young and Jorge Corona. But guys, let me know down in the comments what issues y'all are buying or selling. What has been y'all's biggest disappointment, but also your biggest, I guess, surprise of the week. And keep remembering to always read those comics panel by panel, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your new comic book week.